Gut, dann lasse ich Sie jetzt rein.
Okay. Okay, so I think we are ready to start. Hello, welcome, good afternoon from my side. My name is Elke Schüssler. I'm the program manager for this master's program, Leading Innovative Organizations. And I will now guide you through what the program is about in a few minutes, about 20 to 30 minutes. And if you have any questions that come up, please use the chat function to type your question. And you should be able to see all the questions that everyone else has posted so far. So please don't ask the same question twice if possible. And I will look at all of the questions you've posted and answer them after my presentation. So I'll tell you a little bit about the main characteristics of our master's program, both formal characteristics as well as the contents, the main topic areas. I'll tell you about the program structure, the career prospects you will have. Okay, so leading innovative organizations. What is this master degree about? Well, formally, that's already important to understand as a start. It is a formal, regular Master of Science program with 120 credit points, but that's the specificity of this program. It lasts for only 1 year. Okay, so sometimes it's confused with an MBA program. I will talk a little bit more about that later, but it is a regular master's program, but one that is organized in a way that you can study it within a period of 1 year. I will also talk more about that in a minute. Now let's start with the contents. What is this master's program about? Well, as the title says, it's about leadership, organizations, and innovation. What is not in the name, and that's actually a third stream that we look at in this program, is the context of the digital economy. Okay, so you can see the 3 bullet points here you can think about as 3 dimensions of a triangle. So one dimension is basic foundational knowledge in organization and leadership, so general management knowledge. The second dimension would be theories of innovation and entrepreneurship. And the third dimension is to think about the digital economy, organizing and business models in the digital economy, and also things like data-driven management, business analytics, making decisions on the basis of big data, how to program algorithms, and so on. Yeah. So in this master's program, you will really learn theories and methods along these 3 dimensions. And of course, we don't only look at them as separate dimensions, but in all of the courses, these 3 topics are really highly integrated. Okay, so you will think about organization and leadership in, for example, the context of digital platforms, and even more thinking about how you can be innovative in this digital platform market. Yeah, just as an example. Okay, so that's a very brief introduction into the contents. You will learn about basic theories of organizing. You will look at more specific forms of organizations like innovation networks. You will learn leadership theories. You will learn basic theories of innovation management and entrepreneurship. You will connect these topics. Yeah, so you will learn about how to lead and put together creative teams, for example. And like I said, you will then think about these topics in the context of the digital economy. In terms of the teaching approach, and that is also something that is quite special. Yeah, we have a restricted set of places, 40 places altogether for this master's program. So this means you will go through an application and selection process, and we will put together a cohort of students that really learns very closely together and is also able to support each other, and you can learn from each other. So you will be taught in very small classes. The maximum size is 40, In the seminars, you will be broken up into 2 groups of 20, and we have some intensive seminars that are even in smaller groups of 10 students. And all of our research is, all of our teaching is very research driven. So all of us, all the faculty members teaching in this program do research in exactly the topic areas that I've presented. And our teaching is very much informed by our current research insights and results. And we combine this research-driven teaching approach with what we call experience-based learning. So on topics like leadership, group dynamics, creative teams, and so on, you will reflect about the experience you as a group, as a cohort, go through yourself. And by making experiences of group dynamics, for example, yourself, you will then be able to reflect about what is going on and combine theoretical conceptual knowledge with what you're experiencing. Our focus here is really not just on integrating your knowledge along these 3 dimensions of the triangle that I've presented before, but also along the 3 competence areas of theoretical conceptual knowledge, skills, practical oriented knowledge like leadership skills, and also methods, yeah, both analytical, mathematical methods, and also, of course, research methods, because this is a research-oriented Master of Science program. To complement this, we also cooperate quite closely with several practice partners. Most of them are really digital economy organizations. Many of them are based in the Tabakfabrik in Linz. It's the main entrepreneurial hub in Linz. And we invite our practice partners as guest lecturers. We sometimes are even able to hold some classes on site in the rooms of our practice partners. And you will be able, in some cases, to work also on your master thesis or in some of the seminars on practical problems that our practice partners bring into the classroom. So all in all, this makes for quite a unique, we think, learning experience, which is even stronger by the fact of this program being really condensed and compromised in the period of 1 year. Now you may wonder, so how is this possible? How can you do a full master's program within 1 year? Well, the structure is as follows. We do have the regular winter and summer term. The winter term is always starting in October, summer term starting in March of the subsequent year. But these 2 terms are complemented by quite an intensive pre-term period. Yeah, and in this pre-term, we call it the boot camp, you will be prepared with and equipped with basic knowledge in management and organization theory, and you will already start your team building and group dynamic experience. And after the regular winter and summer term, there's what we call a post-term, and this period is the period between July and September, is reserved for your master's thesis. Yeah. Now, what happens in the boot camp is that all of you will be brought on the same level of basic knowledge of management and organization theory. Why is this important? It's important because this program is open for students from all subject areas, okay? So it's not necessary that you must have a business administration bachelor degree, but we also want to include people that come from the natural sciences, who have an engineering background, or from the humanities and other social sciences. Yeah, so in this way, the program is actually quite similar to an MBA program. And because of this diversity, it's important to bring everyone up to the same level, which is what we do in the boot camp. There is also an additional 12 credit points that you can choose freely in the form of free electives. That's common for all JKU programs. And of course, depending on what your previous degree is in, some electives will be more recommended than others. Yeah, you're completely free in choosing them. But if, for instance, you come from a natural science background and you have very little knowledge in business administration, we recommend that you do your electives in areas of basic business administration knowledge, like finance and accounting or strategic management, something like that. And it's recommendable that you do these electives, if possible, already in the preterm period, okay? Because the winter and summer term will be really quite condensed, and there's relatively little time to do any extra work on top. So we strongly recommend that you do your electives in the preterm period. If you are admitted to the program, we will advise you on an individual basis regarding the choice of your electives. Okay. So some more words about the boot camp, the preterm period, because that's also important to understand. A large part of the boot camp will be taught through distance learning. Now, that used to be innovative a few months ago. Now everyone has gotten used to distance learning. It means that we're already well equipped to do this, and basically the whole Foundations of Management course, that's the course with the basic management knowledge, is a completely online course. That's the course where you will first interact with each other, but you will interact on a virtual basis. Okay, and this course starts already in July, so that's the preterm. The second course you will work on is the foundational readings and academic writing course. So this goes a bit beyond the basic management theoretical knowledge into a more theoretical level. You will learn basic theories of organizations and management by reading not a textbook, as is the case in the Foundations course, but by reading academic articles. And in reading these articles, you will already learn a little bit of how actually these academic articles are written, how to develop an argument, and so on. So you will get a flavor of what we mean by research-driven teaching. And the third part is the Induction Team Development Bootcamp. And this is actually the first time you will meet face-to-face, and that takes place in the middle of December. Yeah, so in this year, those are the dates for this induction bootcamp, and that's where you will meet and you will do group dynamic exercises and learn already some basic concepts of group dynamics. You will then continue your face-to-face teaching with the second part of this foundational readings course, which will be a 2-day seminar taught by myself, and you will finish the bootcamp with an exam in this foundational readings and academic writing course. So by the beginning of October, by the start of the winter term, you will be finished with your first 16 credit points. You will have formed as a cohort, as a group, and you will all have the same basic level of management theoretical knowledge. To celebrate that, and to celebrate at the same time the completion of the first cohort of the master's program, there will be a touchdown event. Of course, we can't be 100% sure because of the COVID-19 crisis that this year this event will actually be able to take place, but we certainly plan for it. It will be on the 2nd of October, and it's an event where we say goodbye to the cohort that has just completed, and we say hello to the cohort that has started and has completed the bootcamp, and both of you will have something to celebrate, and you will have an opportunity to get to know each other across the two cohorts, and also, of course, to share advice, learning from the first cohort's experience, and so on. Okay, so that's the preterm. In the regular winter and summer terms, you will have courses along those 3 streams that I've shown you before: organizations and leadership courses, innovation entrepreneurship courses, and digital economy courses, in addition to research methods courses and master thesis seminars. Okay, so we will start already in the winter term to think about your master's thesis, to lay the basis for you, both conceptually, but also in terms of research design and research methods for you to plan your master's thesis so that you're able to complete it in the post-term period. Now, what about the career prospects? Where does this program lead you to? Well, it leads you to leadership positions, like a regular MBA program would. It equips you with basic management and leadership skills and knowledge, so you can be in a leadership position in various contexts. But of course, especially in contexts where you are responsible for innovation, for change management, for anything that has to do with dynamics of entrepreneurship, and innovation. You can be project managers, again, in different areas. You can be project managers for innovation. You can be project managers in charge of change projects. You can be project managers also more in the IT area, because you will gain some basic knowledge of data-driven management and so on. You can, of course, also work as consultants who are responsible for organizational change and development, strategy development, again, particularly with the specific knowledge about the digital economy. You can be in an innovation management position in specific business development units if they're in place. And of course, you will also be well prepared to start your own company, to be an entrepreneur, or to work in a very entrepreneurial organization. As a final point, when we talk about organizations, we don't just have for-profit corporations and businesses in mind. We think about organizations more broadly, to also include, of course, public organizations, non-governmental organizations, various forms of non-profit organizations, interest groups like trade unions or business associations, and so on. And organizations in these contexts, of course, also these days face the challenge of having to become more digital, having to become more innovative, needing to become more entrepreneurial to gain funds. We have some students who come from social enterprises, for example, and who find the knowledge that they're gaining in the Leo Masters program very useful also for these non-profit contexts. Okay, so to sum up, what are the unique selling points, if you want, of the Leo Masters program? Well, it's quite unique. We did some market research, and it's really unique to have this combination of topics and to really have this sort of integrated approach of basic management and leadership knowledge with a focus on entrepreneurialism and innovation in the context of the digital economy with the necessary analytical mathematical foundations. It's also a challenge to have this combination, because you will on the one hand have to do something quite mathematical, the analytical part, and on the other hand be oriented towards quite sort of more soft skill managerial knowledge. And it's really the combination of the two that makes the Leo Masters program so unique. It's, like I said, a very unique learning experience, because you will be in a small cohort of students that works very intensively together for the period of 1 year. We select students, of course, for their ability, for their motivation, but also for their diversity. So we really try to mix together a group of students that have different international experience, come from different countries, have a different disciplinary background, to really mix business administration students with natural sciences, with humanities in that context. And as a final dimension, of course, to mix also the experience levels. So we want to have some students with professional experience and some that come directly from their bachelor's degree. And you will really be able to learn a lot from each other in this constellation. The fast-track nature of the program is definitely something that's very unique. And I want to say a few more words about our motivations to design a program in this way. It's really our aim to enable a full-time intensive study experience. And in recent years, we have learned that most students already start working in companies during their bachelor degree. Often at the end of their bachelor degree, they end up having a full-time job, and they really struggle to complete a master's program on the side. And we wanted to turn the situation around to say, well, we're not teaching anything on the side, we're teaching full-time, and we expect all Leo students to be available for study full-time, but we will be able, on this basis, with everyone fully concentrating on their study, to design a program in a way that the time you spend on your studies is condensed to this period of 12 months, give and take. And especially for those students that have already a full-time job in Austria, this means you can use this option of a annual leave of absence, educational absence, which is fostered by the Austrian state. You can apply for it in agreement with your employer, of course, and you will be able to get funding for this period of 12 months that allows you to fully focus on your studies. Because of this unique structure of the program, it means you will be quite intensively supervised by us. We're a small faculty that is highly motivated to teach in the Leo Master program, and you will work quite closely with us, and we will do our best to really guide you through this intensive learning period. And finally, like I mentioned, your career prospects will be very good because of this unique skill profile that you develop, and of course because you will be able to get in touch with practitioners, and also within the cohort you will build a really strong network from which you can profit in your further career. Okay, so some final words on the admissions process. If by now you're convinced that the Leo Masters program is for you, basically there's a two-step admissions process. You will find all the information in a lot more detail on our website. But one thing I want to highlight is that first of all, you have to apply, and there will be a pre-selection phase completed by us, by the program management, in which we check your general suitability for this master's program. Yeah, so here we check things like, of course, your English language skills, your prior knowledge, your motivation, your ability to really concentrate full-time on your study, and the different diversity criteria that I've mentioned. On this basis, we will then make a recommendation for admission. Yeah, we are not able as program managers to admit you formally. Formal admission has to be done through the admissions office. All we can do is to recommend you for admission, and then all the rest will be handled formally through the admissions office. Yeah, and this is the point in time where you need all the formalities that are required, and you will find this information on the website in place. This information you will find on the website. You have to create, first of all, an account. You then have to send us through the website. Again, there's a kind of guided form on the website. Submit your application materials, which includes a letter of intent, a current curriculum vitae, your certificates and academic transcripts, a proof of required proficiency in English on C1 level. Again, you will find more information about what is necessary proof on the website. And here are two things I want to highlight separately: a copy of your bachelor's thesis and a Gmat score. Yeah. Now, it might be that in 2 days, when the deadline for application is passed, you do not have these two documents ready because you're still at the end of your bachelor's degree in the last few months, but you haven't finished your thesis yet. This is not a problem. Then just submit instead the general topic of your thesis, the structure, your supervisor, any information you can submit at this stage. Please send it to us. And if you don't have your Gmat score, again, it's not a problem for this pre-selection process. However, you need to be aware that you cannot be formally admitted without having submitted the Gmat score with the necessary minimum points. Yeah, so you can start the pre-selection process. We can still, based on the information we have, make a general recommendation for admission, but for the formal admissions, you will need these documents in place. Okay. Who has to do the Gmat actually? Not all the students have to submit the Gmat score, and basically there are two criteria. First of all, if you hold a bachelor degree from outside the European Economic Area, irrespective of the subject, you have to submit the Gmat score. And if you're from within the European Economic Area, all of those students that do not have sufficient basic knowledge in business administration must take the Gmat. And again, you will find on the website some more detailed information on what we consider as sufficient business administration knowledge. Okay. once you have submitted these documents, the pre-selection stage includes the personal interview. If on the basis of the documents we decide that you will be, in theory, a suitable candidate, the interview will be conducted in English, and in the current situation, all the interviews will be conducted via Zoom. So you can do this irrespective of where you are based at the moment. In the admissions process, like I said, here the admissions office is your place of contact. And of course, again, we face some particular challenges at the moment because of the COVID-19 crisis and travel restrictions and so on. But the admissions office holds all current up-to-date information on the website. So please just go to the website and read through the information provided there regarding your formal admissions process. Okay, final point from my end. There's a whole set of frequently asked questions and answers, again, on our website. I just want to highlight three, which we find are the most important. First, what is this educational leave of absence thing and how to apply for one? Well, this is only relevant if you're employed in Austria, okay? And you can find more information about it in the Public Employment Service on their website. And on our website, you find a link directly to this page. And what you need to do is to talk to your employer on the one hand, and then to submit your application to the Public Employment Service. Yeah. The second point, I mentioned this earlier, is a question we often get. So what's the difference to an MBA program? Well, like I said, first of all, it's a Master of Science program. So it has this very strong academic orientation. It's a full curriculum containing 120 credit points. And while it includes general management training and skills, it also has this specific subject focus on leadership, organization, entrepreneurship, innovation, and the digital economy. Yeah. And as a final difference, whereas for an MBA program, you usually must have a certain level of work experience beforehand, we don't require that. Yeah. We also do take on students that come directly out of their bachelor degree, but we're also open to students with work experience. And like I said, ideally, we aim for a mix of these different skill profiles. And the final question I want to highlight, maybe the most important one from our end as the faculty, is the question of, can I work while completing the program? There's a very simple and clear answer: no, you cannot, okay? Because of this time restriction of 12 months, you will be fully focusing on your studies for this period. It means you will have to work on your studies in the evenings. It usually means you have to work on the weekends as well for your courses. And there really will not be any time to do a job in addition to the Leo Masters program. That's sort of the price you have to pay. Yeah, you get the fast track degree, but you also have to do something for it. And that's the commitment to really study full time for this period of 12 months. Yeah. So this means that basically you need to have your financing secured through whichever source, be it this annual leave of absence, or be it through your parents or whatever, or savings or whatever other possibilities you have, okay? In terms of contact, you will find all necessary contact points here on these slides. Here's just an overview of the faculty, my contact details, the contact details of my vice directors, colleagues that are teaching quite intensively, and here are additional participating faculty who support us in some of the courses. I want to highlight specifically Sophie Parak. She's responsible for the data analytics part, and Robert and Georg are in my institute, so together we are responsible for the organization courses. Matthias is responsible for the entrepreneurship courses, Robert mostly for methods, and all of us are teaching innovation-oriented subjects. Your first point of contact with any specific questions regarding the Leo program should be our program management, which you can find at this address, leo@jku.at. Any more general questions regarding the business school, you can contact our business school office, and then these will direct you further, if necessary, to me or to my secretarial office. The contacts are here. And for the formal admissions process, like I said, this is the contact address. And the student information and examination service you probably won't need at this stage. You might need them later once you're already admitted to the program. Okay, so that's it from my end. And now I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you for your attention.
There's one question now.
Okay. Is there an equivalent course in a regular schedule? No, there's not. We do have the General Management Master's degree. We do also have the Business Analytics Master degree. So we have other master degrees that have this regular 2-year period, but they don't have this special combination of topics. Okay, so the Business Analytics one has the business analytics, data-driven management element, but not in combination with leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship. And the General Management Master course would have, of course, general management topics, but not this tight integration of leadership, entrepreneurship, organization, and digital economy. Yeah. So in short, no, there are regular programs, but not with this unique subject combination. Any other questions? I think I did go through the most important things in my talk. Of course, some questions might come up if you decide to apply now. Please do work first with the website, of course, because we have really tried to put all the necessary information on there and make it as easy for you as possible. But if any questions come up, our program managers will be more than happy to help you, especially now that you will be quite stressed for time in completing your application. Okay, so I'd say we stop now if there are no more questions coming in. Thank you again for your attention, and of course we hope that you will apply. Bye.